we get the second equation of motion, linear motion. In that case is we get V x sub f equal to x sub I plus V average times t. So, or we like to say x sub f equal to x sub I plus 1.5 V sub xi plus V sub xf times t. So here we go. This is the second equation. It's important. Okay, we've done this. So we like to say, how does that relate to? We're looking at another point of view. How does this relate with association? Come down. We will replace that. So now we like to look at the relationship related with association. What is A sub x equal to? Okay, V sub xf is equal to V sub xi plus A sub xt. Now we, from one point of view, we like to explain a little bit to you guys. Is when I'm doing a lot of writing on the blackboard, due to the fact I have to explain it by words. I didn't put down too much English down there. But in your answering the test problem, you have to put down a lot of English in order to explain it properly. If you don't just put down equations and formula and no English explanation in the test paper, you will deduct 5 points. Yes?
Is it the same for the homework?
Preferably same with the homework. Because no explanation in solving a problem is just like a machine, and they're no good to you guys. So we emphasize on that. Especially in examination, you have to put explanations. Okay? So a lot of students, especially come from the Asian people. I got the right answer. I know you got the right answer, but there's no explanation. I don't understand it. Okay? Then the lot of Asian students challenge me. I said, do you come here to learn or you come here to challenge me? Okay? This is very important. That's what is the end up. A lot of Asian students have a lot of disadvantages because they don't know how to explain. They say always using the language. You know, I don't know. How many people, for example, my boss doesn't know anything I'm doing. Okay, so when I finish a project, I have to present to him. But he doesn't know any detail. I have to explain to him. I was a senior scientist at TRW, and my boss had a PhD. At that location, at that time, I don't have a PhD. I only have an MS. So I know my boss is wrong, but he has a PhD and he has a higher position. He says, Wei-Man Lu, I don't agree with you. You've done terrible wrong. So what is wrong at that location is something like this. 1 plus 0, 0, 0, 0. Take this number off, then total calculation is wrong. He says, how come? He says, this is a very small number. Just write this equal 1.0. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes about 2 hours to explain to a PhD in optics about him making the wrong assumption. Okay, if I have that kind of attitude, like you know, you have a PhD, how should I explain to you? The boss said, I don't understand why you do this. You're stupid. He basically pointed a gun to me. He said, you stupid, me stupid. If I do that, then I have to, when you work in the working environment, you have to explain somebody who doesn't know what you're doing. explain it clearly and nicely and politely and courteously without upsetting the guy. Because my promotion, my salary, dictated by one individual. He doesn't know too much. You understand that now? So in that cases, you have to do practice to do the explanation. If you can't do that, you might as well doing dishwasher. Like the first job I got, I washed dishes. Nobody questioned me, cleaning the dishes clean or not. Okay? So this is the things we want to emphasize on this. Now, so this is a v sub x f, then you substitute this one back to here. Okay? So you will get x sub f equal to x sub I plus 1.5. In that case, it's vxi plus vxi plus axt times t. So after all this struggling, you get the third equation are important, equal to xi equal to plus v sub xi t plus 1.5 axt squared. Okay, so third equation of motion. So there's a three equation of motion already developed. There's a fourth one, is last one, is most useful one, is the last one. With a lot of difficult problem, the last or the equation of linear motion is very practical, useful. Okay, we will point this out to you as we go by. So now we want to develop the fourth equation. The fourth equation is related with velocity and time, okay, and association. But all this is and distance. So the next one is how to take advantage of the things we already developed. Okay, the other one is we like to start over again, in which cases we start on the second equation, in which cases from the second one, x sub f equal to x sub I plus 1.5 v sub xi plus v sub xf times t. So this is the second equation. Now we go back to the first equation, in which cases we have v sub x f equal to v sub xi plus a sub xt. We want to eliminate t, so that means we substitute t instead. So here we go. We like to say t is equal to v sub xf minus v sub xi divided by ax. We substitute this back to t. So if you get that, that's x sub f equal to x sub I plus 1.5 v sub xi plus v sub xf times t. In which cases, here you go, a sub x and then v sub xf minus v sub xi like this. Okay, now give you another point so that you can understand where I come from. When I go to interview at JPL, JPL asked me to make a speech about what I have done. And then I tell them what I've done on the last project. So everybody sit down and senior scientist at JPL. After I become a senior scientist at JPL, I sit down and for a little bit. Then we need another senior science team from USC. So I asked him to do the same thing. He cannot explain one simple question, and then he didn't get a job. Okay. Now, why I should emphasize on this? Because this is very critical for you in the future, especially for the student who is going to become medical doctor. After you submit all the information to the potential school, you have to go through interview. If that interview, because the interview carry very important portion of the acceptance consideration, due to the fact there's about 800 students to 1,000 students apply to medical school, and the first filter off is from 800 down to 200, and then from the 200 they pick the 200 for interview, and from the 200 they cut down to 100. Then you got in. Okay, easy or not is after you go to medical school, after you get in, basically 95% guarantee you graduate. Okay, but if you cannot do the explanation very well, or you answer one question wrong, you are out of it. Okay, just a that bloody. Okay, and that's why before all this happened to you, you got to practice explanation and practice for doing the thing accordingly. So I did try to stress that. So if you substitute this in here, then you simplify x of f equal to x of I plus 1/2 v sub xi squared, because this is square of the two things, and minus v sub f squared 1/ax. So after all this is done, then you have 2ax, you transpose this to the other side, then you times x of f minus x of I equal to v sub xi squared plus v sub xf squared, just minus. After regrouping, then you get the fourth equation, x of f squared equal to v sub xi squared plus 2ax xf minus xi, and here you go. Okay, so that finished 4 equations of the linear motion equation. Then you can using this to do a lot of problem solving.